Welcome in, everybody, to Inside the Burrow. Robbie Listell here alongside our co-host, Drew Shula. Once again, we have a special guest for you guys, Gavench Marcelin, joining us, FAU edge rusher in year 2. Gavench, how's it going? Thank you for taking some time today.
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So, year 1 in the books, not a lot of times you get to play as a freshman. You get to play as a freshman and at home. So, year 1, what was that like for you getting on the field, but also, I'm assuming your family got to definitely come and see a couple games for you too.
It was a very exciting moment as like coming from high school. I was always thinking about playing college football. So being able to come, be able to do it year one, after seeing my hard work paying off, being able to do that was very exciting for myself and my family.
And so the edge rushers room last year, D line, that was a mixed bunch. We had a lot of veterans in that room, and then we also had some young guys like yourself, Wilkie coming over from Auburn. But I want to ask, what was it like getting to know some of the older guys in that room, Chris, Marlin, who have been here a while, and did you get to learn from them right away?
It was great having them day in and day out. They always taught me everything, not everything, but things I've learned in the college world, like whether it comes to the weight room, whether it comes locker room etiquette, and little techniques on the field. Like having both of them day in and day out was truly a blessing. And I hope they do. Wish them the best, and I'm grateful to have them as my seniors last year.
So if you had to reflect, though, what would you say your probably favorite moment last season for you was?
My favorite moment last year had to be the sack on ECU, my first one ever. So being able to just do that and have a goal of mine accomplished, it was just exciting.
I like that answer because I hear too far often, and it's the right mindset to be team first, and definitely in season got to focus on the team goals first. But after the season's over, a first career sack like that, 100%, definitely got to celebrate it no matter what. But I also want to ask that last game of the year versus Tulsa, what was that like for you guys just to go out there? And give a good old fashioned whooping for the one time for the guys in the locker room and especially the seniors too.
Man, it was great to have, especially having the season that we had, not going the way we wanted to. Just be able to send the seniors out the right way, their last game, be able to put a show on. Everyone, you see the sideline being ecstatic, you see guys being happy. Just having that atmosphere was just truly great to have. And then you guys saw the locker room having Coach Lunsford up in the air.
Absolutely. Gavinch, I wanted to ask you, you were highly recruited out of high school. You chose FAU, staying home. Why did you choose FAU for one? And then two, I wanted to ask about what did you just enjoy, maybe away from football about being on campus and everything at this university?
One was obviously be able to be close to home, and for my a big thing for me is my parents and my family be able to come see me play, and that staying in Florida is one thing too. Is like I realized I can't really do the cold, so
Oh,
being
yeah.
able to do that was a really good thing. And another thing is away from football, I would say is just really hanging around teammates and really enjoying like company. Obviously being away from home, just enjoying company, being on my own and stuff like that.
Absolutely. As someone from up north, trust me, do not go there to go to school. There's a reason we all come to Florida for sure. One thing I wanted to ask is regarding the transition from high school to college. Obviously, it's really tough. Can you tell me a little bit about the challenges of that and how you've been able to overcome it thus far?
Some of the things I realize is that like there's certain things you can get away with in high school, whether it's like doing the same move over and over, doing just relying on speed. And one of the biggest things I realized fast is everybody's good here. You know what I'm saying? So realizing, oh, you gotta be more technically sound than you were before, and be able to like kind of just like it's kind of like a game of chess. You know what I'm saying? So being able to just counteract that and watch film, be deeper into your technique and stuff like that. So I feel like that's one of the biggest things I realized early on.
For sure, the margin for error is not really there in college ball. Regarding so last year, obviously, completely different coaching staff. This year, now Zach Kitley being brought in over from Texas Tech. You got a new defensive coordinator, a new position group coach. Can you tell me a little bit about The first impressions on the new staff and why it really made you want to stay here.
Um, Having that conversation before leaving out for break with Coach Kelly was very. It was a great conversation we had. He left nothing but great impressions for me and my family. Having that conversation with my parents, and we realized it's just I'm grateful to be here. Grateful to have a coach. So it was no reason to leave. So didn't think about the portal at all.
Absolutely. And then one thing I wanted to ask regarding some guys on the team, is there anyone could either be in your position group or not that you're really close with, that you've really connected with on and off the field?
I'll say one of my closest friends is Chisholm. He's in my room. He's an older guy too. He was able to come back for another year, so I was able to learn from a lot from him last year, and be able to for him to stay was another blessing. I feel like as a room we got a lot better in the portal, and just having young guys being come back for their second year and being able to be in an hour again. So I feel like just as a room we got better. But yeah, Chisholm's one of my closest friends.
Absolutely. And then one more thing for me, I like to ask this question to some people. Is there any like spots you got off campus? Maybe you like to go out to eat there, or go with the guys there. Either could be Boca, Deerfield, Delray, anywhere.
There's one spot we started to go to. It's called Chicken Chop. Really good. It has good churrasco. It's a kind of Hispanic spot. It has good churrasco. Good rice. We started going there and we really liked it.
What's it called again? I got to write this down.
Chick and Chop.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
That's a free plug right there for Chicken Shop. I don't know. They gotta hook you up with an NIL deal or something. But I gotta ask, were you at Boomers the other day? And if so, were you on the go-kart track?
Oh yes, I was. I was on the at Boomers, and that go kart, man. They know I didn't really do that good, but they know these driving skills is real life. It's real life.
I grew up down here, so I went there all the time as a kid. It's a good spot. Even when you're older, you can go there and you can have a good time. What's it been like trying to get the new guys up to speed fast, and what's the vibe like right now around the team?
I say the vibe is everyone's enthusiastic. We've been working so hard this month, coming back from winter break. Everyone's just buying into the program, coming in, welcoming the new guys, being able to get them introduced, whether it's school, on and off the field, whatever help they need, just be able to come together as a team and be able to just grow.
And so I don't know how much you've met Devin Santana yet. I'm sure they're all busy, but former Owl on the defensive line, he's been here when they were winning things back in the day. And so, what was it? Has it been like getting to know him? And was he kind of imparted any wisdom on you guys yet at all?
I haven't got to be able to meet him or like have a full conversation one on one with him, but I have seen him working with the D line, and seeing him work with those guys is just is great to see. Is like had seen those guys really buying into what he's saying, and them working with him is really great to see, and seeing how much better we could really be.
Yeah, I always find it interesting when old players come back to coach. It's interesting to see where their mindset is. We're gonna talk to him on the podcast, but I was just trying to see what potentially you may have picked up. But in terms of the defensive coordinator Brett Dewhurst, he seems like a very high energy guy. I like the vibe that he gave off personally. But what has it been like with him? What was the conversation like defensively? It didn't sound like there's too much scheme stuff really going on just yet. But does it sound like it'll be a smooth transition from what you know?
I feel like it will be. I feel like in any case, football is football, so defense is always going to be defense, no matter who's really like in charge. Defense is going to be defense. But having that one-on-one conversation with Coach Dewhurst it was great. Just like the conversation I had with Kelly, it was really great. Seeing the plans that he has for us, seeing how he's going to implement us, using us to our strong set, and really just analyzing that and just taking it day by day.
Yeah, I want to ask because I saw an interview that you did before you came to FAU, and you said your favorite school that you played at was Fairfield Prep in Connecticut. Now I'm curious, so after a year at FAU, I'm assuming that's changed. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe Fairfield had a crazy student section, but what's been the most raucous environment you've played in so far?
I would either have to go with either Michigan State or ECU.
What you said you didn't like the cold, but you liked it at Fairfield. So when did you guys play? Was it cold when you guys went up to Temple?
Oh, it was pretty cool. It started off fine, and then as the game progressed later, it got colder when the sun went down.
Yeah, I don't know. I grew up down here, as I mentioned. The cold weather doesn't do it for me either. But kind of what? Who? So you mentioned that Chisholm has been that's a close friend of yours. He's got a pretty interesting story as well. What has it been like, kind of like getting to know him? And do you guys kind of work together like on the field as well, or is it just the off the field kind of?
Um, oh, we definitely work together on the field. Or we work together off the field too. We watch film together, and we obviously analyze our opponents, and we have that communication on the field. Sometimes, what I'm saying, communicating what type of play we think was going to come, or communicating what we think is going to happen. So being able to work off together and have that kind of like that telekinesis with him. So just having that is good.
Regarding your play style, I wanted to know, who is Gavench Marcelin as a player? Maybe do you have like a signature move, or you kind of consider yourself a jack of all trades kind of player?
I would try to say I'm a jack of all trades. Right now, I just say I'm in the phase of just being a sponge, trying to learn as much as I can, work any move till I really find that one bread and butter. But right now, I wouldn't say I really have one. Just trying to take up and really know and like fine line my moves and technique, and just making sure everything's fine.
And watching guys in the NFL, the best players, in the world at your position, who are some guys you like to watch? Some really good guys with technique.
This past year, I have to say I've been watching a lot of Trey Hendrickson. He's been killing it, and he's also from our, so that's good to see. I also say Micah Parsons, T.J. Watt, and Myles Garrett. Those are really like the four this past season.
I was
Aiden Hutchinson before the tragic injury.
I was going to ask, because another part of that interview, you said Micah Parsons. I'm glad, FAU Nation will be glad you put Trey Hendrickson in front this time. But, FAU's now, Evan Anderson just went to the NFL last year, obviously interior D-line. But, is it kind of, in the back of your head like, yeah, I can kind of get to the NFL right here from FAU? And is that something you thought about when you first came here?
That's definitely something I thought about because some like you have people telling you, oh, you have to go to this school, history, this, and I told them, I was like, people came to NFL from FAU too. Sometimes you have to date back. I was like Alfred Morris, just a name drop. Brandon Bryant, another defensive lineman. So like it's possible anywhere you go, and like people say, like if you're good at football, the NFL will find you. So you just gotta be able to find craft your tools and just be able to perform, and you'll be fine.
I'm sorry I keep going back to that last interview, but there's some interesting questions, and I wanted to ask follow-ups now. You also mentioned that you wanted to be a strength coach potentially if you were off the football field. What's it been like with Joey G last year and now Brandon Lee? I haven't met Brandon yet, but Joey was always fired up on the sidelines. And is that the strength side of it? Are you big into the weight room and stuff like that?
Yes, sir. Be as much as I was bought in high school, just be able to come here and be even more bought in, and realizing there's a lot more that goes into it. Like whether it be cold tubs, whether it be stretching, whether it be working again, going back to technique in your lifts, in your cleans, in your squats, being able to get that depth. And working with Coach Joey in the past, he always helped me work on that, be able to get that mental. And then with B Lee now, just be able to keep growing off of that, off of what we've been building on. So I feel like it's been improving.
To me, it seems like with this new staff, I don't want to call the last staff old heads because a lot of them are young too, but it seems like there's a lot of young energy on this new staff. Does it kind of seem that way to you? And what's it been like, dealing with guys who, right along you guys, they're hungry trying to go up in their coaching career too?
Yeah. Again, it's just a kind of a fresh start for people. Just a clean slate, especially for people who have been here and people who are coming in from other schools in the portal that are coming in from the portal, transfer guys. So really just having everyone have that fresh start mindset, be able to build up from getting ready for this fall, and this spring, working in this spring. So just having that fresh start mindset and be able to get bought into what Coach Kelly has planned for us.
Heading into next season and the spring season, what are you trying most to improve upon in your game?
I would say everything. I would say being able to be better in the run game, obviously be able to sack the quarterback. But whatever I'm called to do, whatever Coach Dewhurst has planned for us on the field, whatever it's called, just being able to be the best athlete I could be to perform at the best.
I gotta ask. So the NCAA 25 video game for our franchise fans out there. I don't know if you noticed, but they have you taking a big jump every year in year 2 of the franchises. You turn into like prime JJ Watt sometimes on there. I don't know if you've noticed that, but if you're looking at the video game, you're in for a pretty big year 2 coming up.
I would say the game got it right because I believe in myself as well. So have that big jump. So I'm just ready to show the game that they're right.
It kind of died a little bit, but were you into it when it first came out?
Oh, it definitely was. Again, a dream of mine was always being able to be in Madden, and then I never really thought about NCAA because like the whole weight and stuff like that. But then when my brother told me, he was like, "Bro, you're really in the game." I'm like, "Wow, man, like for real." And then it took a second for it to really click for me, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in the game." You feel me? So be able to use myself, get a couple sacks. I got myself the Heisman. So being able to do that was just fun and be able to just have a lifelong dream come true.
Last question for me before I let you get back to taking over the weight room over there. What would you say you're looking forward to most here in your next upcoming season, or it could just be, something here this summer?
I would say just getting better as a team. Being able to come here every day, seeing everybody hungry, ready to work, seeing this energy, trying to just keep it up every day and let it trickle on to the season and letting it just guide us throughout whatever happens as a team for us to stay as a team and just be able to be the best FAU Owls we could be for this spring and this fall.
Gavench, thank you so much again for taking some time. I know it's always busy, never a lot of downtime, but thank you again. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you for having me.
Yes, sir. Take care and best of luck this offseason and beyond.
All right. Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Gavench Marcelin of FAU football taking some time here on Inside the Burrow. We appreciate it as always. Drew, I haven't met a single person with a bad vibe right now, at least around the team that we've talked to so far. It seems like everyone's got upbeat energy. That's new, like you mentioned, a new, fresh, clean slate coming up. Do you feel that kind of same way? And I feel like that's a good thing.
Yeah, and it's just an honor to be able to interview Gavench Marcelin, Florida Atlantic head baseball coach.
I noticed that. Hey, you know what? I mean, I was gonna ask him. I forgot. I was gonna say any baseball experience, but Coach Mack. I wonder if he's ever even met Coach Mack. But that's a funny one.
Well, that might be on No Context College Football one day. If Gavench is as good as we think he'll be. But no, yeah, the vibes have been great. I mean, a lot of fun in that one. Gave us a lot. I mean, there aren't a lot of bad people in this Florida Atlantic football program right now, and that's a good thing.
100%. And I wanna kind of transition over to basketball a little bit. Big win against UTSA. I think that was probably their most important one of the season, in my opinion. You can go back and maybe it's the Liberty win that they snuck out in overtime, Oklahoma State maybe, but to have a game where you win wire to wire in AAC play, it's never a given, ever. And they did that last year to UTSA. Actually, no, they just scored a lot. That game went to overtime last year. Jordan Ivy Curry was going crazy, but this year, different story. To me, I don't know how you don't capitalize on this. Ken Pom has them winning all the way to Temple. That's a 5-game win streak. You face Wichita State. You face you face Tulsa, USF, Charlotte, and there's one more that's escaping me before Temple. But Drew, do you think this can kind of, as Todd Abernathy said, start the avalanche?
Robbie, absolutely. We've been waiting for this. We have been waiting for this because we knew this team was too talented to be losing as many conference games as they have been. And even John Jacobs said it. I mean, I watched the presser after the game. He said, this team will play excellent basketball for 8-minute stretches. They decided to play it for 25 minutes, 28 minutes against UTSA. On the defensive side of the ball, forced a lot of turnovers. You said it. They were throwing the ball around a little bit, UTSA, but that's what happens when you have these different defensive, schemes where whether it's bringing the trap, whether, just using the athleticism of guys like Baba Miller with that massive wingspan, or good athletes like Caleb Glenn, or, even Devin Vanterpool rotates in and plays good defense, or Ken Evans, whoever it is, or whether it's the different zones they bring. It's a tough defense to play, and they're starting to click a lot with their rotations, and they're getting that chemistry, and then just absolutely shooting the 3-ball lights out. What a game by Kiki Tandy. Excellent game. And yeah, we've been waiting for this stretch of basketball, and I definitely think they have the ability to ride that momentum throughout the rest of the season in what looks like a conference that there's one or two heavy hitters, but besides that, it's wide open.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't perfect against UTSA, right? They had some struggles in the second half. Even though they blew them out by 20, they didn't have a single offensive rebound after having 15 in the first half, and they didn't force a single turnover after forcing 8 in the first half. So, but they still found a way to win, and I think that's the most important thing as a team. You can have nights where, they still won the rebound battle by 15, which is insane to me. But you can have nights where it's not perfect throughout, but if you do enough good things, you'll win. And, that learning how to do that comes with time. And this next stretch is an important stretch for them to do that. Learn how to close out games, learn how to beat teams in dominating fashion. Caleb Glenn mentioned it after the game. They were looking forward to this opportunity to finally have a chance to blow a team out. Not saying that, I phrased that wrong. They were looking forward to doing it in a game. They didn't necessarily think UTSA was going to be that, but they knew it was coming, a game where they play throughout and fully. And so that's good. They have that confidence going forward. 3-point shooting is amazing. You can't rely on that every game, but that's why, they still outscored UTSA in the paint. UTSA still shot really good from 3, and I believe FAU outshot them. So, I mean, those type of nights don't happen often. And what was encouraging to me outside the 3-point shooting was the fact that they were still getting to the line and converting. Shout out Matas Vokatitis with 82% free throw shooting, 19 of his last 23. Insane. You can't hack them anymore. That's a cheat code. And so there's just a lot going right now. There's still a lot to go, still a lot to learn, I'm sure. But, they're trending upwards. Now, this is a game on Sunday. Student tailgating a lot. It's going to be a packed house. It should be.
Smiling ear to ear right now.
It theoretically should be. The student section, I mean, I don't know what the old people of Boca Raton are doing. They might have Canasta Club or something. I don't know. But the students will be there. I mean, it'll be packed. It should be packed on that side. And they're going to bring energy. They're drinking. The mimosas should be flowing. It's probably a morning tailgate.
11 a.m. start. Fun fact.
As a former FAU student, I know the vibes. The vibes are going to be good. And USF's coming to town. Even the most casual of FAU students knows about the FAU USF. Hey, at least even if they're not a sports fan, they might have probably debated going to college between the two schools. So there's a rivalry there. And so you know what? It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's a game you got to win. And if they can have a UTSA-style performance against USF, blow them out of the building, that'll get a lot of fans who have been like, what's going on with basketball? They just beat Rice by 2, whatever. Like, this is a game where you can grab that fan base and really re-engage them, especially because they have 6 off days. Then they go to Tulsa. Then they play Charlotte on a Monday night at 9 p.m. here following that. So, this is like a real opportunity with a full fan base to make that Monday night game a little bit better, because attendance Wednesday night, it was meh. It was good. It was good for a Wednesday night at 7 p.m. when the team coming off a loss and a 2-point squeaker versus Rice. But Drew, I think this is the game right here. That, obviously UTSA was a good performance, but if they can get a dominating win somehow, some way versus USF in front of a crazy student section and the weekend right off for the fans, I think it's something that revitalizes the fan base a little bit.
Robbie, it's going to be a fun one. the whole day, starting 11 a.m. The students are tailgating. I tweeted out early when the rumors were circulating that basketball tailgates are back, at least this one, and it's true. The rumors are indeed true. The students will be tailgating starting at 11, finishing at 1:30 for the 2 p.m. tip off. And even the FAU Alumni Association will be tailgating in that lot. I know Hoot and Holler is going to be grilling up the hot dogs over there. Going to have to say hi and see what rubber chicken throwing competitions they're doing. The students will indeed be there. They will have a lot of alcohol in their system. And for those maybe you're a first time listener or something, FAU, it's not just football where the students have an awesome tailgate, a big tailgate atmosphere, but the basketball the past few years has absolutely also been tailgating, even before the Final Four run and such. It's just a fun little culture at FAU where the students love to tailgate, and I think the message is clear. Students show up, and your tailgates, they won't be taken away. So hopefully all the students show up, because why wouldn't you? But yeah, it's going to be a really fun one, raucous atmosphere. I think the average student, even for when FAU, I don't know what record they had. I think they only had 2 wins at the time. Maybe they're like 2-5, and they're playing USF at home, and USF didn't have the best record too. There was still a decent student section for that game. So yeah, I think that it'll be a lot of fun, and what should be an FAU game where they will be favored by a decent amount.
Yeah, Ken Palm has them winning that game by 8. We'll see what they're able to do. They also had them winning by 9 against UTSA, ended up winning by 20. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to that one. I think it'll be good. And then you go on the road. You have 6 days off. Again, these bye weeks. I like it, AAC. Let these guys rest up a little bit. 6 off days. Then you go play Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then you're at home again versus Charlotte a couple days after that. That's a tough stretch. You get 6 off days. You got to go to Tulsa, then fly right back and play Charlotte a couple days. So, but I liked hearing from Jacobs this week that Caleb Glenn is the spirit of this team's rebounding improvement. They used to be down bad on the glass here in the beginning of the season. They were getting out rebounded every game. ECU game, it came to a boiling point. I believe they lost the rebound battle by nearly 20 rebounds. And then they still won that game. But then after that, they've won every single rebound battle except for North Texas, who's they're like top 40 in the country in rebounding. So that's a game you can lose. And they didn't get blown out on the glass, but it's been a stark improvement. And Jake has said it's been Caleb Glenn as the spirit of that. He's been a spirit of a lot lately for this Owls squad. And I'm looking forward to speaking with him on the LaStella Report live. You guys can watch it on repeat if you didn't see it after this. But Caleb's going to be joining us over there. We're going to talk to him about his journey a little bit. And, Drew, I mean, everyone likes to kind of ship Bob Miller to the NBA, and rightfully so. But, if Caleb keeps doing the little things as well, but whether it be rebounding, three-point shooting, just an aggressive play style, the ability to kind of have some heads-up play. I saw a lot of, in this game, things I saw with the old FAU team, noticeably from Leland Walker early in the game, that, he would get an offensive rebound and immediately find Caleb Glenn for an alley-oop jam or kick it out to find Kiki Tandy on the arc. He knew where these guys were, and Caleb Glenn's ability to kind of be in the right place at the right time, that's a trait that not everyone possesses. And so he's got the three-point shooting, the rebounding, and just got a very good basketball IQ. I think he can be an NBA player alongside Bob Miller. Potentially, I don't know, this year, maybe if the draft is, we'll see. But long-term, I think both of them have pro potential. And, Drew, do we like him coming off the bench, or do we think that maybe a starting lineup change could be, something that really gets this team going?
Robbie, that's a good question. I would say we've seen John L. Davis come off the bench.
Yeah, that was the Final Four year. That was crazy.
That was, but he eventually earned a starting spot, and I don't mind him coming off the bench. You need 2 good groups. I like how much you need to be able to substitute and still not sacrifice a lot of production. I don't mind him coming off the bench. I don't mind him starting. Coach Jacobs is a lot smarter than I am in that regard.
Yeah.
Kayla, they all are, that whole coaching staff. So I don't mind him coming off the bench at all. Actually, in fact, I'm no expert, but I kind of like it. You have a different level of athleticism coming off, where probably your best athlete being like Baba Miller in the starting lineup, and then you take out a Trey Carroll or Ken Evans, whoever it is, and you have a different level of athlete there that has a little different skill set than those kind of guys. Not that anyone's bad or anything, of course, but they bring different things, and it's kind of tough to match up when there's a lot of different combinations that they could have. But he's been great. He's been a consistent improver. Regarding the NBA, you got to have the build, you got to have the athleticism, you got to have the 3-point shooting ability, you got to have a level of growth where your best ball is not being played right now. And I definitely think that Caleb Glenn's best ball is being played in the future. Whether that's at the NBA level, whether it's at the college level, we'll see. But extremely talented player that could start or come off the bench, and I don't hate it either way. He's going to be playing a lot of minutes.
We shall see. I'm looking forward to seeing his game versus USF. He's got that he seems like he's had that ability to heat up at the right time, and I think USF's a team where, and this game especially, a couple Caleb Glenn flashy dunks down there in the post will get that place going crazy. The kid with the flag, Cam, will be going up and down, back and forth. It'll be good vibes in there this Sunday. Make sure to head out, get your tickets. There's a rumor floating around on Twitter that tickets are $100 and up. You can find them for less. Don't worry. Go to the Game Time app. We're not sponsored. I'm just letting you know where to find some tickets if you're an Owl fan trying to go get some. And so, you know what? Hey, got to let the good people know where they can get some tickets at. But, for me, in this game, biggest thing, find your offense early. FAU had 10 assists on their first 10 made field goals. Ball was moving around all over the place. Even though UTSA was bombs away early too, FAU was better, and the foot was never taken off the gas. Same thing versus USF. Win in all facets. Yeah, you don't got to overcompensate with threes. They didn't overcompensate with threes against UTSA, and even though UTSA shot really good, FAU ended up shooting better. Just do your best. Do the best you can. And just keep focused throughout the game. I think this is a game where FAU can easily win again by 20. If the shots are falling, if the shots aren't falling, things get difficult. It'll be a close game then. But I still think FAU can pull this one away in the end. Drew, any final thoughts on USF, FAU football? What do you got?
Couldn't agree more. This is a game where, I don't think there's any reason to overthink it. I think USF has some good guards, but I don't think they're nearly as deep as us or talented as us. I think we can't beat ourselves here. We got to play our ball. We got to dictate matchups. We got to be explosive. We got to play fast. I mean, I really think no shade to them. We're a better basketball team right now, and I think that we have the ability to make this a double-digit win. But that's usually if you do everything right. I mean, you force turnovers, you make threes, you have the right shot selection, but you also shoot enough. So I definitely think this is a game where FAU could win by double digits, and a home game. Can't forget that. People can't forget that the LE is a true home court advantage. I think it should be a definite sellout and a better crowd than we've seen the past few times. Probably closer to the Memphis matchup than the last few ones at home, like with UTSA and such. Definitely got to take care of business. No nonsense here. Let's let the streak start now. I mean, it was a great UTSA win. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. Let's get crazy in there. I'm going to probably try to find some videos from when that place was rocking last year. And that's what I'm hoping for this Sunday. I believe 2 p.m. You got a 3-hour tailgate before, starting at 11 a.m. If you're not in a fraternity, don't worry. I'm sure you can set up in the parking lot too. Go crazy. Everyone needs to be tailgating for this game. Just enjoy it. Have a great Sunday afternoon and catch some good Owls basketball as well. Folks, thank you so much for tuning into Inside the Burrow. Thank you to Gavench Marcelin for taking some time to speak with us. If you're just watching this solo, feel free to head over to I'll have it retweeted on my channel. I'll have it retweeted on FAU Owl's Nest as well. I'll have Caleb Glenn on the LaStella Report of the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network at 4 p.m. I'll be on there. We'll be talking with him about his journey, FAU basketball season, and we'll talk some AAC hoops as well. Folks, thank you so much once again for Drew Shula. I'm Robbie LaStella. We'll see you next week on Inside the Burrow.